Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so can we first start off by rehashing that Hakeem Jeffries clip from maybe a month or a month and a half ago? Remember when he was attempting to make the case that Donald Trump was on the retreat? And he made the claim that the Trump administration was losing in court time after time.
In the courts, Donald Trump is not winning, he's losing.
Yeah, well, that take isn't exactly aging well, as once again the Trump administration gets another crucial win in the courts. Remember not so long ago when we were talking about this guy, Judge Theodore Twang, an Obama-appointed judge that issued a ruling blocking the Trump administration and their efforts to shut down USAID? Well, to keep it in layman terms, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals just told Mr. Twang to pound frickin' sand. Another massive victory for the Trump administration. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on, but this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's first play that clip. This video is brought to you guys by Ground News. So now that Trump is back in office, the establishment seems to be scrambling to manipulate, lie, and of course cover up the truth at all cost. As I always say, it's information warfare, and in an environment like this, you gotta be equipped with the best tools, and that's why you need Ground News. Their blind spot tool shows you exactly what the leftist press is hiding from you, so you can see the full picture of what's really going on and not get played by the corporate media and their fake news journalist lackeys. Let me show you very quickly how the blind spot tool works. Take this story for instance. Elon Musk is exposing ActBlue for allegedly bankrolling the anti-Tesla protest groups, and just take a look at the split in media coverage. According to Ground News' blind spot bias distribution, 83% of sources that are covering this story lean right, while only 17% are coming from obscure leftist publications. The mainstream left-wing press is flat out ignoring the story, but people who have a regular diet of taking in left-wing media probably don't even know that this is happening or exists. But if you guys use Ground News and their news aggregating software, you won't miss a thing. And that's where the pitch comes, because Ground News is partnering with us here at the Liberal Hive Mind to give you guys an exclusive deal. Simply click the link down below or scan the QR code on screen to go to ground.news/hivemind and get 40% off when you sign off for their Vantage plan. That's 40% off, so you can see through the lies, break through the bias, and of course, stay informed. A huge thank you to Ground News for supporting the channel. Now back to the video. Alright friends, so let's get to this court win here. We got this headline from the Gateway Pundit. Breaking, Fourth Circuit delivers crushing blow to left's lawfare, grants emergency stay protecting Elon Musk, Doge, and government deficiency mission from USAID operation. So basically we had this laughable decision from Judge Theodore Twang, 68 pages of Elon Musk. It was basically an injunction that was stopping the Doge team from doing what they were doing at USAID. It also reinstated email and office access to a bunch of anonymous USAID bureaucrats. But now the Fourth Circuit chimed in, and it seems as though they're not buying the argument at all. Judges Quattlebaum and Niemeyer granted an emergency stay, siding quite clearly and decisively with President Trump and his team. The entire argument from Judge Twang was that Musk wasn't Senate confirmed, therefore he's not a real government official, and therefore he had no authority to be engaging in any of the activities that he was. It was all unconstitutional. But Judges Quattlebaum and Niemeyer have now ruled that Elon Musk is absolutely legitimate and allowed to advise the president, and that Doge was acting under lawful orders from cabinet-level officials like Marco Rubio and Peter Morocco, and the argument that Judge Twang was making, that the plaintiffs, the 26 unnamed bureaucrats, which were cited in the initial decision, provided zero evidence of actual harm, but rather only subjective fear and speculation. This is what I meant by basically the whole decision was, Elon Musk is so mean. The Fourth Circuit Court essentially nuked the idea that these anonymous crybaby bureaucrats faced any irreparable harm. It seemed as though their whole argument boiled down to my feelings are hurt, Elon Musk bad, and I miss my taxpayer-funded Outlook account. The judges said in their decision that subjective fear that is remote and speculative is insufficient. Basically, the translation to that is, grow up. And now that there's been a stay on the judge's injunction, it essentially gives the Trump administration the green light. And guess what happened just hours after that ruling was released? Let's follow up with the next headline. The State Department, of course led by Marco Rubio, now notifies Congress that it will officially shut down USAID. The State Department put out a formal announcement stating quite clearly that USAID is now being dissolved by July 1st. Done. Finished. Shut down. And whatever remains of USAID will now be folded into the State Department. Marco Rubio released this statement: "Foreign assistance done right can advance our national interests, protect our borders, and strengthen our partnership with key allies. Unfortunately, USAID strayed from its original mission long ago. As a result, the gains were too few and the costs were too high. Thanks to President Trump, this misguided and fiscally irresponsible era is now over. We are reorienting our foreign assistance programs to align directly with what is best for the United States and our citizens. We are continuing essential life-saving programs and making strategic investments that strengthen our partners and our own country. This is yet another promise made and delivered to the American people. Note, today the Department of State and the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, have notified Congress on their intent to undertake a reorganization that would involve realigning certain USAID functions to the department by July 1st, 2025 and discontinuing the remaining USAID functions that do not align with the administration's priorities. In other words, government efficiency, cutting the bloat, keeping what's necessary, and getting rid of the useless crap. The bloated, woke, overfunded USAID, the same agency that was pushing gender sensitivity training in Afghanistan, of course as we covered the other day that ended up in trash piles in Kabul, is done. Money being spent on DEI initiatives in Vietnam and teaching degenerate French art to young Afghani women is done. It's over, finished. And now just back to the priorities, back to the important stuff that actually benefits the nation and its interests. And of course, this puts a little bit of a wrench in the rhetoric that Democrats have been spewing, that Republicans want to get rid of everything, just slash everything. But that's never been the goal here. The opposite has been stated since day one. The whole purpose of Elon Musk's work is to bring everything to light and to one by one transparently go through every line of spending. Keep the stuff that's important, keep the stuff that actually provides humanitarian aid and does important work, absorb it into the State Department, and get rid of the rest. And also there's another argument falling apart quite spectacularly, the idea that Elon Musk is illegitimate in his role. That was basically the decision that was made by Judge Twang here, but now the Fourth Circuit Appeals Court states unequivocally that the President of the United States has the power to staff the executive branch exactly how he sees fit. And that includes appointing advisors like Elon Musk to oversee efficiency operations. It's like we've been saying since the start. Does Elon Musk have the authority to slash funding himself, to shut down USAID? No, of course not, but that's not what's happening. He's working under the State Department, he's working under Marco Rubio as an advisor, and all he's doing is going in, doing the analysis, doing the audits, and then presenting it to the higher-ups, who are then making the decisions themselves. The Democrats and their claims of constitutional crisis have fully been debunked at this point. In other words, the opposite of what Hakeem Jeffries has been saying, the Trump administration isn't facing legal loss after legal loss, no, quite to the contrary. They've got a pretty positive win-to-loss ratio. And I presume that we're really only scratching the surface here. As you guys know, Donald Trump has been hit with more injunctions, more court orders in the last month and a half than Joe Biden was his entire 4 years in office. And so that alone on its surface already starts to raise some flags as to the legitimacy of these court orders. And so slowly but surely, one by one, these decisions are going to make their way to appeals courts, or in this case, to the Supreme Court, as Donald Trump has filed an emergency request with SCOTUS to intervene in the Alien Enemies Act case, where once again an Obama judge, James Boasberg, tried to block the Trump administration from deporting criminal aliens. The argument that Judge Boasberg is making is that the Trump administration hasn't proved that the nation is facing an invasion, and think about how much of a complete joke that is, considering everything we've seen over the last 4 years. I guess we'll have to see how well Judge Boasberg's argument stacks up here. Chief Justice Roberts has been asked for a response by April 1st, so the clock is ticking on that one. But I don't know what it is, but something just tells me that Trump's got more legal wins on the horizon. It's obvious to me what these judges are doing. They're essentially attempting to block the mandate to overturn the last election using their power from the bench. But the Trump administration isn't backing down from these unelected Democrat activists. They're continuing full steam ahead, and it seems like in the end, the mandate will be fulfilled, whether they like it or not. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.